Hey fangirls and boys, this is Natalie and you're watching Whole Lotta Love. And in today's video I create this pastel, fun, colorful makeup look. Pastel neon, I would say. I guess it's kind of like a rock and roll take on Easter. I create this look using mostly the Pastel Pup eyeshadow palette from Menagerie Cosmetics. Super duper fun pastel color scheme with this one. I also use a few different other products because I kind of had a vision of what I wanted to do with this look, so I just kind of threw in a few other products to really get it there. So if you are interested in seeing how I got this fun, colorful look, then keep on watching. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I have kind of an idea of the look I want to do. I'm gonna use like a few different products, but one of the new and exciting products I'm gonna try in this video is the Menagerie Cosmetics Pastel Pup eyeshadow palette. So this is what it looks like. It has a super cute, is that like a baby walrus pup? Yeah, I guess so. And little baby mammally sea creature on the front, and it says seal of approval, whatever that means. And then this is what the palette inside looks like. So usually they'll do their palettes like this. I mean, I guess it still works that way, but the names of them read vertically. So I guess it's just to kind of correlate with the vertical front. But this is super cute. Pastels are really hard to formulate, so I feel like it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. I'm a big fan of Menagerie Cosmetics eyeshadows though. They're super buttery, super nice, very unique colors, so I have good expectations for this one. I've already done my brows and primed my lids with the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk, which is a very good primer to use with pastel eyeshadows. So I'm going to take the Melt Cosmetics 87 Transition brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade called Snack over here. It's like a peachy, yeah, like a peachy pastel color. There's definitely pickup, and I'm just gonna apply this above my crease. So that's pretty. It's like peachy, but it's kind of like a pastel reddish peach to me. It definitely has a nice color payoff right off the bat. I'm actually putting this in my crease too. I'm going to use a different color to deepen things up a little bit from a different palette, but I really think this color Snack is super pretty and I really do want it to show in the look, so I'm going to kind of just build it and like put it in the crease, put it above the crease, put it all around basically. Very, very pretty color. So far, based on this one color Snack, like I'm really excited to try all the colors in this palette. This may even be better than the Pastel Goth palette by Kat Von D, which is a really, really good eyeshadow, pastel eyeshadow palette. I think this one has more shades at least, and it seems more pigmented so far and smoother. And it looks like these are pretty big eyeshadow pans, which is good, as is the case for all the Menagerie Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes, because all the palettes are super nice and they all have super cool shades in them. Okay, so that's Snack above my crease and in my crease, almost all over, just not completely on the lid. I am going to deepen things up just a little bit. I'm going to go into the Urban Decay Electric Palette, an oldie but a goodie, and I'm going to take the shade Slow Burn, which is a similar shade but it has like a little bit of a sheen to it and it's a little bit deeper. More like of a neon rather than a pastel. So I was really excited when the Wired eyeshadow palette came out, but I have not picked it up yet. Maybe when it goes on sale I'll pick it up, or maybe I'll just kind of want it anyway. I haven't heard too many good things, and I know there's like 3 or 4 similar shades, which I was a little disappointed to hear. If it was like 2 shades it wouldn't be so bad, but it's like, I think it's like 3 or 4, which is kind of a ton, and it does have this one shade Slow Burn, which is really pretty. But I'm going to take this is my OCC smaller tapered blending brush, and I'm just going to put this more in the crease just to deepen things up a little bit further. Yeah, you can see that there definitely is a very similar tone just adds a little more depth and pigment into the look. So that is the eyeshadow. That is Slow Burn from the Electric Palette and Snack from the Menagerie Cosmetics Pastel Pup palette. I think that those tones really complement each other very nicely. So far, so good. I'm going to do a half cut crease, and I'm going to use the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Concealer to do this, and I'm also using a Morphe. This is the M421 brush. It's just a flat concealer brush. Okay, so I have cut my creases. On the inner part of my lid and kind of in the inner corner, I'm going to put the shade Snowball from the Pastel Pup eyeshadow palette. This is like, I think like a new formula for them. One of their like, I don't know if it's like a trio chrome or duo chrome. Like they launched some singles as well that sold out like immediately, but at least I have the one in the palette. So that is the shade Snowball on the inner part of my lid. I think that that looks really, really cool. It's like an icy blue, but it does shift like a little bit of like a whitish green, which is kind of like a weird way to describe it, but it definitely has like a little bit of like, even though it's like a really cool tone icy blue, it kind of like shifts like a little more like, I guess like turquoise, like a bright light turquoise, I want to say. So maybe that's like where I'm seeing the green. It's just like a little more of that tone to it, but it's a subtle duochrome, but it's super, super pretty. Like that looks really super cool. On the center of the lid, I want to try this. This is the Lime Crime Lid Light. This is a soft suede eyeshadow in the shade Majestic. So I was really excited for these to come out. I got the whole collection, but I have to say that the formula doesn't appear stable. It appears very, very soft, and pretty much all the other pans I have are like completely cracked at this point, even though I haven't really moved them around. Somehow, luckily, this one is still doing kind of well. But the other ones, even though the shades are absolutely gorgeous for all of these Lime Crime single shadows, these lid lights, they're very soft and break very easily, which leads me to wonder why they don't either change the formula just a little bit to make it a little more stable in the pan, or, you know, turn it into like a loose product or like a ColourPop type thing, something that's a little more bouncy, you know, I don't know. But let's see, try this on I'm gonna put this on the center of the lid. I just really wanted to try these. See, it's kind of like when you go inside of there, I'm super scared to drop this. It will crush into all the pieces in the world if I do, but it does kind of have a little bit of a bouncy creaminess to it, which is kind of, I wasn't totally expecting that, especially for something that's so unstable. So I'm just gonna put this more on like the center of the lid. So this is pretty. It's more sheer than the Snowball shade from Menagerie. And I think also because it has like this creamier, bouncy formula, I think it's more appropriate to just pack it on with a finger rather than over top of a cut crease, but we'll get it there. Also not sure if I'm loving these tones together, but I just really wanted to try this product as well because I've had these for a while and I haven't tried them. Oh yeah, that's like a creamy, it is like a suede. It's called soft suede. It's very appropriate. I'm just applying it with my finger. I think that's really the better way to go with these. Yeah, that's definitely helping. So now that I have a ton of that Lime Crime shadow all over my fingers, what I want to do is, first I'm gonna try to get some of that off, just so I don't contaminate this beauty. But what I want to do is I want to pack a little bit of Snowball over top of the Majestic shade from Lime Crime, so I'm feeling like the Lime Crime shade just gives it a slight more depth as you go further out on the lid, but you're still seeing mostly this super pretty Snowball shade. Yeah, so that looks really pretty. And it kind of helps blend the two tones because it's like different tones of blue. The Lime Crime shade is more of like a violet blue tone, whereas Snowball is like an icy blue that like shifts a little turquoise, so they kind of don't mix, but patted over top it works much better. I'm just gonna go back into that shade Snack and just pat that where the cut crease ends just a little bit. So I don't think I really needed to cut the crease because I ended up using my finger. But I think this is pretty. It's working out. So far, so good. I'm liking that. It's kind of fun, interesting tones. I'm going to go into the shade Saddleback, which is like a true white. And I'm going to take the Milk Cosmetics. This is the 517 La Pease brush. And I'm just going to put this right in the inner corner really to brighten that up even more. Yeah, these shades are so pigmented. Like a white can be kind of sheer sometimes, but this is just like laying on like chalk. Looks really good. Like super buttery chalk. I'm going to take the Melt Cosmetics. This is the 25 Precision brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Whisker, which is like a true matte black. It looks like a really deep dark black. Such an interesting color to put in a pastel palette. It's just, I guess, to really ground the palette, even though it'd be like a little weird to deepen things up with the black, I feel like. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take this and stamp it on my upper lash line. This is mostly to conceal the lash band that I'm going to use for my lashes. And just to try the black. Yeah, that looks really cool. It looks like an eyeliner. It's very, very black. Okay, I'm just going to apply some Fenty Beauty Full Frontal Mascara to my upper lashes. I'm gonna line my waterline. I have the LA Girl. This is the Glide On Gel Eyeliner. It's just a white shade. I'm gonna line my waterline with this. I am gonna apply lashes and my base off camera, and I will be right back to finish. Okay, so I am done with my base and my lashes. I'm using the Bombshell Cosmetica Yummy Gummy lashes. They were kind of tricky to put on. They're not my favorite, but I wanted something a little more dramatic for this look. So I do have a very slight amount of fallout with the black eyeshadow that I used to line my upper lid, but it's overall it's really pretty for something like that. For using a black eyeshadow for liner, you can get a ton of fallout with certain eyeshadows, but this one it was very smooth, very easy to work with, and very little fallout overall. I'm very impressed. I'm gonna take the shade Sunbathe, which is like the yellow in the palette. I'm just gonna put this on the lower lash line, just like on the inner part of the lower lash line. And I'm using my Melt Cosmetics pencil brush. So this one definitely needs to be built up a little bit more because it is a lighter, more pastel shade than the Snack shade that I used for most of the look. I'm able to get it there. I feel like the white even was a little more straight up pigmented, but this isn't too bad. Definitely built up that yellow. I'm gonna go into the shade Ice Cap. I'm gonna put that more on the outer part of my lower lash line. I like when they do like these kind of deeper pastels. It's kind of like not exactly a pastel, but definitely a lot more pigmented. I'm gonna go into the shade Aquatic, which is like a light pastel baby blue. It's kind of the matte version of Snowball. Just putting that in the center of the lower lash. So overall, I really do like that shade Aquatic, and overall I really do like the shades on the lower lash line. I wanted to play around with a few more shades on the lower lash line, so I did 3, and they're all really nice and pigmented. You can see it right there. I'm going to take my Morphe M506 brush. This is a tiny tapered blending brush, and I'm just going to graze the edge at the bottom. But I've done the lower lash, and I'm not like rubbing it all over because there are different colors. I kind of want to keep that. Don't want to mix them too much, but I'm just blending the outer or the bottom a little bit. So that is a lower lash line done with eyeshadow. I think that looks really, really cool, and these eyeshadows are super pigmented. They all perform beautifully. I do have concealer under the eyes, so it's kind of laying on top of a creamy base a little bit, but still absolutely beautiful for pastels. Very pigmented, very lovely. I'm going to finish the eyes with the Fenty Beauty Full Frontal Mascara on the lower lash. So the eyes are done. I'm really digging this look. I love the way that I was able to play with color in this look. I just had like this vision of doing like the kind of like peachy red in the crease with like the Snowball shade on the lid. And I really do like how it came out. I think the lower lash line looks super cool as well. I'm gonna apply blush. I have the NYX HD blush in the shade Baby Doll. Pretty pigmented, so I'm just gonna dust off some of that excess. Yeah, it's really pigmented blush. Baby Doll is the perfect name for this blush. It's just like a super pigmented, hot baby pink kind of shade. Definitely gives you like those doll cheeks. I'm gonna apply highlighter. I have the Jeffree Star. This is the Supreme Frost highlighter in the shade Snow Globe, and I have the Fenty Beauty 120 highlight brush. So good. I love the Jeffree Star Supreme Frost. So that is the highlight. I'm gonna finish with lips. I have the LA Girl. This is the Shockwave Neon Lip Liner, and this is in the shade Outrage. So I'm just gonna line my lips with this. It's like a neon corally orange kind of shade. I'm gonna kind of bring the lip liner in a little bit. I'm not gonna fill my lips all the way with it, but kind of like partially fill them. I'm gonna finish the lips with the Vice Lip Chemistry Lasting Glassy Tint, and this one is in the shade Switch. I love these lip tints are so good, especially the ones from the Vivid collection, which this one is. It's just such an easy, pretty lip. And these work really well on their own also. So this is the completed look. I really love how everything turned out. I love how I was able to play the corally peachy on the eyes with the lips and the cheek. I think that is all looking really, really cool. I think that this is was just like a fun, different way for me to play with color. I always want to like touch like greens and purples and different things like that, but I stayed away from them. In this look, I just had this vision of red and blue, and I think it all came out super duper pretty. I absolutely love this palette from what I've tried. I can't wait to dig into the few other colors I haven't tried. I think the lower lash looks super cool, super fun, super colorful, and the shade Snack performed really well. I really didn't even need the slow burn from the electric palette, but it did help to just deepen things up just a little bit. But I don't think I even like totally needed that. Most of what you're seeing on the coral on the eye is the Snack shade. I think that it looks really cool. All these shades performed really super well. Even the black is a liner, and the Snowball shade is super beautiful. I have to get all the other little singles they have when they restock them because those are absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I'm very, very happy, and I would definitely recommend this eyeshadow palette. Anyway, that completes this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and have a good one. Bye, guys.